What's going on YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 build video. Now in this build video it's going to be the cheesiest of the cheese, the smelliest of the smells, the vectors of the vectors. And this build video, you guys, I'm going to show you guys my vector cheese build. Because personally, I really like using an AR build, but as you guys well know, as soon as you get into the DZ, you're going to have some fool with a damn vector going down your throat. So I've went ahead and made a build that whenever I am farming with, my AR build or my LMG build or whatever build it is, and some fools jump me with a vector, I go ahead and throw this on and show them what a vector build actually feels like. Now, there is a patch coming next week, title update 3, and this build is fine for that too. You can use this build before and after it. Don't worry about it, you guys. And remember, a lot of those nerfs and whatnot are still being figured out. So before the patch actually drops, you shouldn't have to worry about changing this build at all. But without further ado, this is going to be my vector cheese build. My name is Kamikazevondoom. If you guys enjoy this video and enjoy my content, don't forget to smash that like, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell. But without further ado, here it is, Vector Chatterbox Sawed Off Shoddy. This, just by looking at it overall, you can tell this is a PvP build through and through. I mean, I've got a little bit of damage to elites, but nothing crazy. This is the build you throw on in your loadouts to where whenever you do get, to that level where they're just being a little bit too toxic, throw this on, give them a little bit of taste of their own medicine, and watch them fly away. But anyways, so this is the two-piece True Patriot hybrid. This is a pure damage and damage to armor build. I spec a lot into SMG damage and all weapon damage, and you will have to have the demolitionist specialization maxed out for this build to be fully optimized. So we'll talk about the weapons, and then I'll go ahead and talk about the gear set bonuses and the brand set bonuses. And then we'll go through the rest of the gear, finish up with the stats, and then we'll go on our merry way. Now, I know these build videos are a little lengthy, but as long as you sit through it, I explain everything to the T, and you should be an expert at this with no problems. So, starting off, Vector. Gear score 500. This one is the Tactical Vector SBR 9mm. It is maxed out, gear score 500. Base damage I have gotten this baby up to is 14.6k. It has 1300 RPMs, and the mag size is at 39. But as you guys all know, you get that one in the chamber, so technically you have 40. Now, the talents I run on this vector for now: close and personal. Killing a target within 7 meters grants you a 50% weapon damage buff for 5 seconds. Now, the requirements are only 5 or more firearms. Obviously, I'm sitting at 10 for this build currently, so well in that range. And using the vector, your critical range, let me go back up top. Critical range is right at 36 meters, so you're not really going to be going too far range. And the way I have this thing set up, you get in their face, it's game over. You don't even have to guess about it. Now, the other talents: Allegro, giving me that rate of fire, bringing me up to 1300. And my holster talent, which actually I wish was stop, drop, and roll. But that is what it is. We're in rhythm, actually. So don't even worry about that, sucker. Let's look at the mods. So starting off with the optics, I have a reflex sight giving me that 20% boost of critical range. Go down to my mag. I'm running the extended 9mm mag, giving me 20 extra rounds, and obviously your reload time will be a little bit longer with that. Go down to the laser pointer. I'm using the Demolitionist laser pointer, giving me 7% crit hit chance. And the suppressor, I'm using the Osprey 9, giving me another 5% crit hit chance. Now this build is max crit hit chance, so after the title update 3, I will be changing close and personal for another talent, and we'll have a good time with that.
Hostile supply convoy detected.
Now going to the chatterbox. Nothing special. Obviously it's going to get a buff with the next patch, as do all exotics. But for right now, mine's sitting at 17.5k base damage. Talents, you guys should all know that by now, and the mods are set in there. So 17.5k on that sucker. Only thing I'm using this for is the holstered talent. We all know grants you that 20% more rate of fire. And with the vector, getting that close and personal proc and this blabbermouth proc at the same time, it is insane. You get the 20% rate of fire with another 50% weapon damage. Stupid, you guys. Stupid. Alright. So, the sidearm, just a Gear Score 500 double barrel sawed off. Right now it's sitting at right under 190k base damage. I have Ranger and Optimum Range on here within Rhythm. Now, actually I do want to show you guys this. So with this build, you don't actually have to use the vector. I went ahead and I put all my SMGs in my inventory to show you guys the base damage that you can get all these different weapons to. For example, the AUG goes up to 23k base. The little Tommy gun goes up to almost 25k, MP520, MP7, actually better than the MPX. Converted SMG9, right under 21k, and the T821 is right now sitting at 29.1k base damage. So as you guys can see, even without the vector, you can still get some really high numbers on your SMG using this build. And remember, all of those are base damage numbers. That's not even including the Berserk. That's not including any of the other weapon talent procs that you get later on. And that does not include the damage to armor you get with the True Patriot. Now that's a good little segue into talking about the gear set bonuses and brand set bonuses with this build. Now, starting off with the True Patriot, we are running 2 of them with the mask and the backpack. Reason for that, you can see right under there, it says requires 2 of 6, gives you 10% damage to armor. Now, this damage is pure armor based, so obviously when their armor is depleted, you're not going to get the 10% buff. All you care about is getting their armor down as quick as possible so that the vector can do the rest. Now, we're actually not going to talk about the attributes right about now, or the mods, but I'm just showing you guys that the 2 True Patriot is the damage to armor. Now, I'm running 1 Sokolov Concern chest piece that has 10% SMG damage for the brand set bonus. The talent for it, Berserk, gives you that 10% weapon damage for every 10% max armor depleted. Now, of course, with the next title update 3, potential nerf, or if you even want to call it a nerf, well, actually it is a nerf. The damage is getting cut basically in half, and the requirement is going to be 11 firearms, slots. Right now I'm sitting at 10, but I'll show you guys how to change that when the patch actually drops. So 2 True Patriot, 1 Sokolov Concern. I have 1 Providence Defense. These are the gloves. Gives me 10% skill power. Main reason I'm using this is for the talent Devastating. Gives you 5% weapon damage. I am running 1 Wyvern Wear. The brand set gives you 7% crit hit damage with this setup, and I am using hard hitting as the talent. That is damage to elites. Going to the holster, Richter and Kaiser. The brand set bonus you get from this is 10% hazard protection, and the talent I'm using, weapon damage, with that devastating again. So there are your brand sets and your gear sets. So overall you can tell that with the Berserk, with the 2 devastating, that is pure weapon damage. So pure raw damage you are using with this vector. Now the 2 True Patriot, obviously the damage to armor, you're going to melt them down even faster, and then letting that 40 round magazine with your 9mm vector do the rest of the work for you. Now I am running damage to elites on the knee pads. You could switch that out for whatever you feel like. And besides that, the talents are pretty much on point with this build. Like I said, you could change the knee pads. So let's actually go in depth with these gear items. So starting off with the mask, go to the attributes. I am running crit hit chance and health. Obviously it came with a firearms attribute and a defense attribute. So what I went ahead and did, I believe it came with damage to elites, if I'm not mistaken. I went ahead and just switched that to some crit hit chance, because the crit hit chance maxed out with this build makes it hit that much harder. As long as you're within the 7-meter range with the close and personal, getting that to proc, you're also getting all of those crit hits because you're well within the critical hit range of the vector. Going to the backpack, again True Patriot. The attributes I'm running on it, weapon damage at 8%. Right now that's capped out, so with the next update you can make that higher. And this one came with health and crit hit damage as the final attribute. Mod slot that I have on the backpack is a defensive system mod. For this I am using it strictly for the total armor slot. As you can see right there, 3.5% total armor. That's how I get that armor right at 200k, is using these generic systems mod. Going down to the gloves, the Providence gloves, I have rolled health and SMG damage. SMG damage at 7% is not a bad roll right now. It is capped out, and it does have that devastating, giving you that weapon damage. Going to the chest piece, Sokolov Concern. The attributes I have on this, again, weapon damage. It's a common trend throughout this build, stacking that weapon damage. And right now it's at 6%. The other firearms attribute, I believe, was it was either crit damage. I believe it was crit damage. I just wanted to go ahead and put crit chance on it to max it out. So what I did is switch that crit damage to 5.5 crit chance, which brought the vector up to that max of 60%. Also came with health and skill power. Now again, the talent, it has Berserk. With my max armor depleted, I get weapon damage. Really, really OP. Now for the mod I am running on this chest piece, again another generic system mod. Obviously I'm using it again for the total armor attribute with that mod. This one again sitting at 4.5%. So total I have 8% total armor stacked to this build to get it up to that 196. Just under 200k. Let's go to the knee pads. Wyvern wear. Main reason why I'm using this one is for the high crit hit chance roll on the attribute. It is maxed out right now, currently at 7.5%, and it does have hard hitting. You could change it out for, let's see, self-adjusting, get that armor regen, and well, those are my only 2 options right now. But yeah, for this I do have the crit chance on there again to stack that max crit chance. It is vital with this build. I'm trying to get that through your guys' head. get the max crit chance, get the weapon damage, and get the True Patriot for the armor damage. This thing shreds. Now the mod I'm using on the knee pads is a offensive protocol slot for precision, and the highest I could get the weapon damage up to on this one is 2.5%, and it also came with headshot damage. And finally, the holster. Richter and Kaiser holster. Main reason why I'm using this holster is for that devastating talent, again for the weapon damage, and obviously my 14% crit hit chance attribute. This is capped out at 14. I believe you could probably get it up to 15. I don't know. But right now it's sitting at 14, and it is amazing. Right now, the only two I have found to come with devastating, Fenris and Richter and Kaiser. Obviously, we're not using an assault rifle at all, so Richter and Kaiser with that hazard protection just gives you that little edge. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Vector Cheese build, so let's look at the stats. It's all about a numbers game, isn't it? Division was and Division 2 is the same. So starting out with the weapons. Now weapons, this is purely for the Vector, the weapon that my character is holding right now. So 14,595 weapon damage, maxed out at 60% crit hit chance, 35% crit hit damage, and 52% headshot damage. Go down to the offense tab, and I can show you all the damage bonuses I put through this build. So I am currently sitting at 28.5% all weapon damage bonus, and the other main damage bonus you want to look at is the 35% SMG damage bonus. So that brings that up. What is that? That is 63.5% damage bonus with this build. That's not including the damage to elites because that doesn't matter. Now I do also have that armor damage bonus at 10% currently, but if you do switch some mods out, say you could subtract some armor or some health and put a little bit, more armor damage on this build, I think it would just be that much sweeter. Now closing this out with the defense tab. Right now it is at 196,309 armor and 50,046 health. Now with the next update, obviously armor and health are going to skyrocket through the roof, and we're all going to see tank builds. But for right now, this is pretty good considering how much damage I've put into this build. I'm still sitting right around 200k armor and 50k health with all the weapon damage. This is a pretty solid build, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope I didn't talk too long. I am Kamikazevondoom. Don't forget to mash that like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.